Meghan's heart is like fire. King Charles under pressure to test Archie and Lilibet's DNA. A royal insider has just revealed that it was a pretty depressing Christmas for King Charles. As is tradition, the royal family went to Sandringham in Norfolk to celebrate Christmas and to greet the people outside the Church of St. Mary Magdalene on Christmas morning. So far so good. So after church is when they usually have a big lunch, including a salad with lobster or shrimp and a roasted turkey with all the trimmings like parsnips, carrots, Brussels sprouts, and also they enjoy Christmas pudding with brandy butter for dessert. Apparently that was not so good. Apparently, while the turkey was being cut with a knife, the atmosphere was equally thick. If it had earlier been agreed upon that nobody should talk about Meghan and Harry during lunch, the look on their faces were a dead giveaway. What would the royal household staff be thinking as they watched the family eating their lunch while biting their lips at the very same time? After lunch, they sat together watching Charles's first televised Christmas speech. But unfortunately, the family wasn't able to concentrate completely on what Charles was saying in front of the nation and the Commonwealth, and they also weren't able to forget the dastardly duo. Because Harry's book Spare is about to hit the shelves, and then after that apparently Meghan's memoir is going to be released too. And apparently the royal family is expecting it to be filled with the usual spite and vitriol. The palace is waiting in fear, wondering what race is garbage Meghan is going to throw their way next. And she will, because we already know that is what she does best. She's already said, according to journalist Carolyn Graham in LA, "I'm going to be entirely candid about my time in the royal limelight. I'll leave no stone unturned." So what exactly can King Charles do to deal with this whole situation? If it continues, I'm afraid he's going to end up being as unhappy as Harry is. The king has a choice, and he knows something has to be done. But he doesn't have any real-life experience to help him deal with the situation. See, King Charles hasn't really had to face a lot of hardships in life. His life has been filled with privilege, entitlement, extreme wealth and a family connection that now has meant that he's the king. See, Meghan is pretty street smart, and Charles has advisors to guide him, but they don't have any experience of how to take out Meghan Markle. I'm afraid it's not going to be any real contest. King Charles is unhappy because he doesn't know how to deal with the S word and all the problems that it's going to cause in the future. The word surrogacy is apparently leaving him feeling pretty ill. The Archbishop of Canterbury went through something similar when Meghan told the whole world that he married them 3 days before their spectacle wedding, and he was jumped upon by every single journalist in London. They were asking him to give an explanation. He panicked, and he went into hiding for 4 days. He refused to answer calls to Lambeth Palace, his official residence, and journalists were trying to call him, but he would not pick up the phone. In fact, he had been so desperate to avoid these calls that he had disconnected his phone. Exactly like Charles, he was not able to deal, and the Queen was just so embarrassed by everything. What she later said to Meghan has been kept under wraps, just like the results of that bullying investigation, and Charles has been told that he should not explain why 2 invisible children are in the line of succession. People in the UK have bigger problems to worry about. The cost of living crisis is only getting worse, and energy bills are out of this world, causing misery and hardship to so many people out there. Royal advisors believe the public are not going to push the king to act, while they're just struggling to put food in their kids' mouths and keep their homes nice and warm. It's not like King Charles can come out and say, "Oh, the public were tricked. Meghan Markle was never really pregnant. We knew about the whole thing, but we went along with this scam. We are members of the royal family, so that means we can do whatever we want to do. We will do anything just to keep up our privilege." I mean, of course he can't come out and say that, but he knows that one day he's gonna have to face the music. It's pretty astounding. The man who waited his entire life to be king is now, after only 4 months of being in the job, pretty much up the creek without a paddle. A lot of people are also wondering why some US publications are not publishing the truth about the surrogate births. A super injunction is in no way binding upon any US citizen or media outlet, and there are so many ways around any NDA provisions, and clearly if one with knowledge of the surrogacy has not signed an NDA, they would be free to disclose everything they know. And if this information were to be published in the US, it would be pretty much impossible to keep it under wraps in the UK. The more lies Meghan tells, the more nobody wants to have anything to do with her. I think one of these days the truth is going to come out. I think Meghan will be charged with some type of crime, and she and Harry are going to have to pay big time. Or they may go to prison. Enough is enough. And I can kind of see both sides to this whole argument. Now, in the beginning, my opinion was that the royal family should really come out and refute the things that Harry and Meghan claimed, but as time goes on, I'm kind of changing my mind about everything. I think they are doing so well maintaining a dignified and classy silence. Also, something I've noticed lately is that journalists are jumping to the defense of the royal family, and they are doing the rebuttals on their behalf, all without the family needing to ask them to do so. The more Harry and Meghan throw, the more people realize what small-minded and evil people they really are. So from what I've read, and what I understand about narcissism, the best way to deal with it is just to ignore it, which apparently makes the narcissist so angry, and that's clearly what King Charles has been advised to do. He's giving them just enough rope to hang themselves, and they are doing it a little more each time they open their mouths. I don't think the family gave much thought at all to the dastardly duo on Christmas Day, the first without their beloved mother or grandmother or great-grandmother, and I'm certain that between them Charles and William can find advisor with enough experience to deal with a malignant narcissist like Meghan. They're going to have to be very careful, and they're going to have to be smart in how they deal with the matter of the invisible kids. Perhaps the lead up to the coronation is the best time for senior courtiers to do a little admin and look for those signed letters from the doctors who delivered those invisible children. And if no letters show up, the legitimacy issue is going to have to be dealt with. So should they make an announcement that the kids are being temporarily removed in the line of succession until such time as their parents can give the necessary sworn statements to confirm their births. I think the only S word they need to focus on is succession. If it's made clear to the people that it is the law of the land which requires written evidence of the kid's birth, and that Harry and Meghan knew the legal requirements before the birth of the first child, surely the royal family could not be held to be complicit in any deception whatsoever. I mean, it's not as if the members of the family are around each other all the time, so why would the family suspect any weirdness with the pregnancy? Indeed, they would have trusted Harry, of course. And if the family was really involved in any injunctions to keep the media quiet, then that would only end up disproving the dastardly duo's claims about being protected. Now, once the kids have been temporarily taken off of the line of succession, they can stay off it forever. If the surrogate story breaks, it's going to explain why the two of them couldn't provide the necessary proof of birth. And we can all pretend to be so surprised at how Meghan tried to trick everybody. And if Meghan and Harry end up separating, then Harry can have custody, and his invisible kids, whether they're biologically his or not, but legally adopted, can still be much-loved family members who are just not on the line of succession. They've already done so much damage to themselves, and when the time is right, I think King Charles will do the right thing. And you, what do you think about this case? Let us know your opinion below in the comment section, and we can also discuss your thoughts and feelings. If you think my video is useful, please remember to like and share it with your friends and family members who would enjoy it, and don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel to get more videos from us. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye, and I'll be